He was trying to compromise him and make him like fluid. He said once you compromise your center of integrity, which is your butthole, you become fluid and like nothing. You get off of it.
I started kicking it with Diddy, right? I ran around with Diddy for 2 years, and this Diddy, we never went to the studio one time, but he was like, yo, I fuck with your demo. That's, bad boy. But hey, Playboy, hey, here go a watch, Playboy, here go a chain, Playboy. I'm like, yo, we ever gonna rap?
The conversation around Diddy reached a new level when people started discussing how he allegedly tried to break down men's integrity. Terrence Howard explained that once someone compromises their core values, they become fluid, losing control, losing self-respect, and becoming whatever the industry wants them to be. He described how he avoided getting pulled into those circles, even when he spent time around major names. According to Terrence, many people fell into a lifestyle that looked glamorous on the surface, but slowly destroyed them from the inside.
That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. But when you lose your man card, that was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process, I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place. What benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. Buffy invited me. I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there. He's looking at me. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to, that's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh. Okay, now I get it. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't benefit off of my name while calling me a liar. Then be prepared to stand behind your accusations. Because in the old world, men didn't hide behind anything. When they spoke against someone, they had to speak it with their whole being. And if you're going to speak against me, use the same courage that it took for me to say those truths. Man to man, eye to eye.
Terrence revealed that he spent time around Diddy years ago, yet they never went to studio a single time. Instead, Diddy kept him around, claiming he liked his music, but never actually worked on it. Terrence said the behavior fell off. And according to 50 Cent, he believed he might have even protected Terrence from falling deeper into the situation. Terrence eventually spoke publicly, saying some people in the industry gave up their dignity just to stay in certain circles, a choice he refused to make.
When you came in, the first thing I said is the character, Harvey, Gordon, from fighting, right? The way you would speak, the way you would move. But this is the first time we saw you talking about you leaving Hollywood, Rob. If you want to play this clip, go for it.
Terrence Howard here. You made huge headlines when you said after you complete these 15 episodes of Empire, you got to walk away for a while or forever.
For good. I mean, everyone keeps trying to tell me don't say it's forever, but I've spent 37 years pretending to be people so that people can pretend to watch and enjoy what I'm doing when I've made some discoveries in my own personal life with the science that Pythagoras was searching for. I was able to open up the flower of life properly and find the real wave conjugations that we've been looking for 10,000 years. Why would I continue, walking on water for tips?
In his interview, Terrence said many celebrities kept attending certain parties, thinking nothing would happen. But later, they couldn't escape the guilt or trauma. Some ended up relying on substances just to forget what they experienced. Terrence said once someone trades their integrity for access, they never truly recover. Fame, awards, money, none of it matters if you lose the core of who you are.
You got to take, you're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually.
You see the Terrence Howard thing where we talked about how the man's kind of center of structural integrity is his butthole. And he claims P. Diddy was trying to compromise him and make him fluid. Said once you compromise your center of integrity, which is your butthole, you become fluid and like nothing. You get all fucked up. Yeah, he's a mathematician. So he was saying like the geometry, like the underpinning of your structural manhood.
Like the center of gravity, he thinks is your butthole.
It's your butthole. And once you,
which by the way, I can't prove him wrong.
It's something to do it, man.
Sounds like he's right again.
You say it's Terrence Howard, mathematician, hustle and flow.
Oh boy. The hustle and flow guy that's now a super genius.
Terrence shared a specific story about visiting Diddy, expecting to work on acting material. But instead of rehearsing lines, Diddy simply watched him. No script, no project, just silence. Later, his assistant warned him that Diddy wanted to hang out again, and that's when Terrence understood there was another intention. He cut communication immediately, saying he's lost business deals by refusing situations that didn't align with his principles. But he never regretted it.
A lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. You know, but when you lose your man card, that was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process, I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place. What benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. Puffy invited me. I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music and he's sitting there, he's looking at me. So then my assistant was like, you know, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh. Okay, now I get it. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over.
Terrence said some of the biggest names in the industry, musicians, actors, even young rising stars, show signs of deep trauma. He pointed out that some celebrities clearly struggle emotionally because they gave up something important early in their careers. Whether they were pressured, intoxicated, or manipulated, he said the damage follows them forever. According to him, many of them need serious therapy, not fame.
Clip with the actor Terrence Howard saying that Diddy tried to him a while ago when they linked up.
I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at it. So then my assistant was like, you know, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to.
Here's my issue with this, whether that's true or false. Now, for the record, I'm a huge fan of Terrence Howard. I think he's one of the GOATs at acting. I done watched everything from The Best Man and Crash all the way to Lackawanna Blues. A lot of y'all never even seen that film. Why you ain't tell this man why he was right there in front of your face when you felt it at this moment? Now, granted, a lot of females that be victims of stuff, whether they're lying or telling the truth, and some of them, when they telling the truth, they want to say it like years later. They kind of explain why they didn't say it when it happened out of like certain fear and certain trauma or whatever. But men ain't got no excuse. Any on earth try to touch me on some homo shit, and I'm not homo, I'm hetero. My nigga be a problem. You want some weird shit? I'm not waiting years later till you get locked up on some female. That's female. Like, we got to stop this whole.
When Patrick Bet-David brought up how Terrence refused certain invitations, Terrence admitted he never attended those secret parties because he wasn't interested in that lifestyle. He said he was basic, normal, disciplined, and not into anything wild. Other producers tried making strange approaches too, but he shut them down instantly. To Terrence, a man must protect his dignity at all costs, even if it means losing work.
Have the opportunity where you got invited and he said no consequences when you said no.
Puffy invited me for weeks asking me to come and teach him wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at it. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music and he's sitting there just looking at it, like waiting. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to. That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you notice to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction. It's a difference when a walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a will accept. So
50 Cent reposted Terrence's interview with a cryptic no comment, hinting he knew more than he was saying. Now, he's bringing the entire situation into his upcoming docuseries, which reportedly triggered a bidding war before Netflix secured the rights. The documentary will explore allegations involving Diddy, Cassie, and Hollywood's hidden culture. And rumors say Terrence has been tapped to share more details on camera.
All the people that went to the Puffy party. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being.
Terrence also exposed Hollywood's long-standing issue of underpaying actors. He revealed he earned only $12,000 for Hustle and Flow, despite it grossing over $75 million. He made just $6,000 for Crash, which went on to win an Oscar. He never received royalties for the music he performed. He said the industry profits off actors while giving them crumbs, and he's considering taking legal action over unpaid earnings.
Yeah. I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
But was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic.
The discussion expanded when Taraji P. Henson shared her own struggles with pay inequality, saying she hasn't received a fair raise since 2018. Terrence supported her, saying black actors and actresses are constantly undervalued. When 50 Cent heard how little Terrence was paid, he publicly offered to bring both him and Taraji to G-Unit Films, promising fair payment, respect, and opportunities the industry denied them.
I don't compromise. I don't play the role. I don't the man. I don't do that because the man card means everything.
You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head, whether they were high or whatever. You gave up your man card. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. I've never seen somebody recover from it. They have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean.
Terrence ended his interview saying he has turned down tens of millions of dollars to protect his integrity. He said no amount of success is worth sacrificing your dignity. As the Diddy allegations grow, 50 Cent is reportedly preparing to expose everyone connected to the situation, and fans believe major industry names could be next. Terrence's message to the world: the industry may offer fame, but it can never get back a soul once it's lost.